Today we're talking about the myth of I can't put myself first because I have kids. And I started that with myth because it's not true. And I'm going to tell you why. Um, I'm currently accepting people, or I'll introduce myself first. My name is Anna. I'm a confidence coach. Hi, Justin. I run the Heart Centered Woman Confidence Club. And that is a place where I coach women on how to put their desires first and stop worrying about what other people think. I know that can seem like, what? I can't do that. But like, yes, you actually can. And I promise that you can in a very healthy and empowering way. And it doesn't mean that you're going to stop caring about other people. That's not what that means. It just means that, like, you deserve to take care of yourself and you deserve to make yourself a priority, whether you are a mother or not. You deserve to do it just for yourself. The core values of the Heart Centered Woman Confidence Club are rest and enjoyment and fulfillment for yourself, period, not as a means to serve other people. As recovering people pleasers, like, we already serve people. Like, that's something we probably find ourselves in positions. Hi, I'm doing great. How are you? You finally probably find yourself in positions of where you are serving, like probably your career is like serving and giving. We find ourselves in that in our families. Like, that's just naturally where we tend to fall in. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can still be the person that you are who shows up for others, but you don't have to sacrifice yourself to do so. You don't have to set yourself on fire in order to keep other people warm, as the quote says. So I'm currently accepting women into the Confidence Club. And so it's open for one-on-one coaching right now. And essentially what that is you and I will work together for 8 weeks, working on your mindset, working on the blocks that are holding you back from moving into your authentic self, from boldly showing up as yourself, from getting away from the fear that you can't be yourself and still be accepted and still be loved and thrive in this world. We'll work through the mind blocks that are holding you back from that. And then we will move into coaching on the ABCs of authenticity. And the ABCs of authenticity are alignment, boundaries, and connections, quality connections. And what that means is, in alignment, we really focus on who you are as a person, your authentic identity, really connecting back into your inner wisdom, your inner voice, your inner self, learning how to trust yourself again, learning how to feel comfortable and safe in your body, comfortable and safe in your identity, and feeling confident and brave enough to be yourself and show up into a world where you haven't felt comfortable doing so. And in addition to that, and boundaries, we also talk about what that looks like. Like, I'm going to teach you how to introduce yourself and set the standards and the boundaries around this new version of you. Because it's one thing to, like, say, this is who I am now, but really it's about the actions we take and the standards we put up and what we say no to, that helps us actually be that person. So you'll learn how to let no be a complete sentence where you do not have to explain yourself if you don't want to. And so in boundaries, we also recognize what is not our responsibility and what is. And then we also focus on kind of the grief of letting go and letting people be their autonomous selves, because sometimes we're scared of what happens if we aren't the person, like with our kids, like if we aren't the person who's, hey, Carla, welcome. If we aren't the person who's stepping up for them and helping them make decisions, like, what if everything falls apart? We feel like it's our responsibility to be the fixer and keep everything together. And that's not true. And it's not helping you. And I know that might be hard to believe, but I promise you there's a way to thrive without feeling the need to keep everything together, and keep, like, the entire relationships and the entire world functioning solely on your own. And then in connections, what we talk about is creating quality connections and focusing on what it looks like to build relationships with people who love and accept the genuine and honest and true you. And what it's like to grieve people who cannot follow you into this new version of yourself, and having the strength and the power to be able to let that go and make acceptance that you guys are just on different paths. And then also some conflict resolution, which I know us recovering people pleasers are not fans of, but we can do it. We can do hard things. So anyway, that is currently open at the link in my bio. I'm currently accepting one-on-one clients. So you can book a completely free clarity call to see if it's the right fit for you. So back to the subject of today. I can't put myself first because I have kids. No, actually, because you have kids is the number one reason why you should be putting yourself first. And yeah, it's it's like, I don't like the idea of saying, um, you can't pour from an empty cup, or fill your cup so that you can pour, or whatever. Because I think it takes away from the notion of what I really try to encourage people to do, is to pour into your cup and replenish yourself solely for yourself, because your cup deserves to be full just because it's your cup, and you deserve that as an autonomous individual. However, it is also true that if you do want to be there for others, you can't pour for an empty cup. So pour into your cup for yourself, and pour into your cup so that you can be there for others. And specifically, as a mother, I want to know, how is that working for you to keep burning the candle at both ends? How is it working for you right now? Like, really sit back and think, how is it working for you when you are trying to do everything and be everybody or everything to everyone, including your kids? How is that affecting you and showing up as a mother? Is it causing you to be a little more impatient with your kids? Are you yelling at your kids a little bit more? Are you frustrated? Do you find yourself yelling in the moment and then later you're regretting it and going back and having to apologize because you know that you overreacted because you are burnt out and tired, and your child just wanted a popsicle and it was like the last straw, and now you're yelling at them over a popsicle and it's really not even that serious? Why is that happening? That's happening because you're burnt out. And it is definitely harder to make time for yourself as a parent, as a mother, but it's 50 times more important to take care of yourself as a mother, because you are responsible for the future of our country, the future of our world, but also the future of your legacy, the future of your kids. And I want you to consider, what kind of adult do you want your child to be? Our job as mothers, from the time our children come into this world, our job as mothers are to teach them how to be self-sufficient, autonomous individuals, right? We want our children to be able to thrive in the world, not just survive and exist. We want them to go out and do big, amazing things. Can you imagine if your child was treating themselves the way you're treating yourself? How would you feel about that if you knew the way you talk to yourself, the way you treat yourself, the lack of care that you give yourself, if your child was doing that same exact thing? One of the main ways that we teach our children is by modeling to them, right? We model the behavior that we want our children to internalize and to exhibit, right? And so by you telling your child, different ages, are going to come with different levels of ability to do on their own. But like, your 5-year-old can absolutely sit down and have a bowl of cereal and watch some cartoons for 20 minutes while you go and have a shower. Your 5-year-old can absolutely do that. They are autonomous, and you want them to be able to have that independence. And with each age, it increases. Like, your 13-year-old, like, it's not even a question. Your 13-year-old absolutely should be respecting that you need time for yourself. And it just works just like that. You simply say, mommy, sorry, stuff falling everywhere. You simply say, mommy needs some me time. How about you have some me time, and you take some time and you spend some time coloring and you spend some time reading this book? You read this book And when you're done, even if it's just 5 minutes, you read this book, and for 5 minutes, we're going to have quiet time, and mommy is going to go read a book over in the corner over here. It doesn't have to be some big, outlandish thing, but just imagine what you and your child are going to look like and feel like and be like when y'all both have that quiet time of alone time by yourself with your thoughts, rest, replenishment, and enjoyment, which is what self care is. When you have that time to yourself, even just that 5 minutes, what are you guys both going to be like when you come back together? How is that going to serve you throughout the day as a mother? You want your kids to be great and take great care of themselves, then you need to model it. It's even more so important for you because they are looking to you and they are subconsciously learning the way you show up. Specifically, if you have a daughter, your daughter is going to look at how you mother and she's going to mother just like that. And so I hope that when you're thinking about all the other things that you're teaching your kids, because I know you're an amazing mother, think about how important it is because the science tells us that rest is so incredibly important for our well being. Just like you want to make sure they get fresh air and drink water and get sleep and go to school and all these other things that are good for their well being and their mind, rest is incredibly important too. Don't forget that that quality is important, and it is okay for you to say, Mommy is about to lock the door and take a bath. You go do something and don't bother me unless the house is burning down. And please don't burn the house down. It's also like, I like to give the example of like shoe tying. Like also when we start doing too much for our kids. And like we teach our kids to tie their shoes like around like what? Gosh, my child is 20. So like bear with me as I try to remember when I taught her to tie her shoes. Was it like 2 or 3? Is that too young? I don't know. Somebody tell me in the comments. That's too young. Anyway, we teach our kids to tie their shoes. Why do we teach them to tie their shoes? Because it's a hazard, right? It's for their well-being, and we're not going to always be around to tie their shoes for them. They have to learn how to do these things themselves, right? And so if you don't teach them to tie their shoes and you're always tying their shoes for them, what happens when you're not around and they're at school? Or what happens when they're walking home off the bus or like whatever, and their shoe comes untied? And now they've tripped and fall, and now they're hurt, and because you weren't around to tie their shoes and you never taught them to. It is the same thing when we are thinking about not taking responsibility for themselves and reminding us ourselves that we do need to take time for ourselves and we can't be everything to everybody. We have to teach our kids to take care of themselves. That is our job as a mother. We want self-sufficient, autonomous individuals as adults, and it starts teaching them little by little as they age every year. And while you are teaching them to be there for themselves and recognize that they can survive without you, they can do things on their own, also remind yourself that they can survive without you and they can do things on your own and that you don't have to do everything for them. And at the same time, while you're doing that, make sure you are taking time to put yourself first. So you're letting go of responsibility at the same time as you're making room for rest and replenishment for yourself. And I know my daughter was super active. I only had one. So I know if you have more, I don't even know. Like it's such a mess. My daughter had all the things. She had soccer and dance and ice skating and gymnastics and music. Like she did all these different things, not all at once, but like she had like 2 or 3 things at the same time. And I know you're busy playing taxi cab and chef and cleaner and all these things. And I get that. But look at where you can release some of that control. Maybe the kids can start doing laundry. Maybe depending on how old the kid is, maybe the kid needs to start doing dinner one night a week. And during that time they're doing dinner, you go sit on the couch, you put your feet up, and you go watch your favorite show. And you take care of yourself because you freaking deserve it. Okay, so I've preached enough today, but I really want you to consider what it is costing you as a mother, how well you're showing up as a mother when you don't put yourself first, because when you put yourself first, everybody benefits. Literally everybody benefits when you're well taken care of. And what is it costing your children by learning that mom sets herself on fire and she does everything? So that's what a mother's supposed to be like. And I'm supposed to do the same. Is that what you want for your child? Just think about it. So, comment if you're watching the replay. Let me know what you thought. Let me know what stuck with you. And I'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're talking about why people put us in boxes when they want to be like, you're this type of person, you're that type of person, and like what that means for us and what we can do about it and all that good stuff. Again, check the link in my bio if you are a goal-oriented woman who is a recovering people pleaser who wants to learn how to put yourself first and create the harmony of still being able to take care of your responsibilities without sacrificing yourself and still being an amazing mother, spouse, friend, and employee, employer, all those beautiful things and what that can look like. It's 100% possible. And I would like to coach you and teach you how to do it. So click the link in my bio for a free clarity call. Thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Bye, Instagram.